Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another match preview. Bournemouth versus Manchester City. This is a chance to draw level on games played with Liverpool so we can stop thinking about goddamn games in hand. Now, before I get into breaking down this game, if you do me a massive favour, please leave a like on this video and subscribe if you are new. We reached 7k. Thank you all very, very much, but we still keep going. We still keep moving, trying to grow the community. So again, subscribe if you are new. Turn your notification bells on because post-match, the same night, Saturday night, there is a plan for a live stream as long as all goes according to plan. So turn your notification bells on so you don't miss that. And there is a membership link, top line in the description, if you want to support the channel further. I'm going to stop rambling about that and start rambling about the game because I want to get this over quickly as possible. It's hard to really feel any sort of way about this team at the moment because it's a bit uninspiring. Yes, we are winning. Yes, we're on a good run. We haven't lost in a while. But the football just isn't great. Like the actual games, the way that we're winning, the manner that we're doing things, it's not a complete performance. So it's kind of hard to be upbeat. I'm always going to be positive. Can win this game. We should win this game. And that's the mindset that I want to go to. And I mean, where better to start than to just throw my predicted 11 up on screen now. Last week, I kind of put up one that I was more leaning towards what I wanted to see. I've gone back to predictions. As you can see, there is the main man in the middle of the park, the man who is in constant discussion at the moment over his performances, and that is Julian Alvarez. I don't see a world in which he's dropped, which to me is a little bit disappointing. I feel like he's had a good season, for one. Let me just state my intentions here. I'm not bashing him in terms of his season or anything. He's had a good season. He's deputised very, very well. But he's in a poor patch. He's in a poor patch of form. He's not playing particularly well. Whether that's because teams have found out how to get the better of him. Maybe there's a bit of frustration from his part. Tiredness as well, I think, plays a massive part. He's played pretty much every game. And we're not playing to his strengths. I'd like to see him have at least a game out the side to recharge the batteries. Have an actual midfield for once, that's made up of actual midfielders, not fullbacks and centre-halves and strikers. Have an actual midfield. So I would like to see him dropped, but I don't see that coming anytime soon. I think he won't play against Luton, and then there's your lot. I'd rather he doesn't play against Bournemouth, he sits on the bench, and then Haaland doesn't play against Luton in the Cup. Or Haaland doesn't start against Luton in the Cup. And you play with Alvarez. Alvarez gets to play as a number 9 again. Alvarez gets a break and then he plays as a number 9. That's what I would do. But I'm not Pep. I'm not one to sit here and tell him what he should and shouldn't do. I'm not qualified. But that's just my thought process behind that. As for the rest of it, it was hard to pick a predicted 11 for this one. Especially in the wider areas. I don't really know what Pep's thinking in terms of Oscar Bob. I thought he took his opportunity against Brentford. He played really well, but will he play Oscar Bob twice in a row? If I know Pep, when it comes to young players, he tends to give them a chance, and then regardless of how they do, it ends up being that, they're more than likely out the side for the next game and, take them out the spotlight. So I don't think he's going to do that. And Grealish is injured. So leaves you with Doku unless you put Foden on the left. And that's my next talking point. Jeremy Doku, there's been a lot of noise about his performances as well, which I understand. He's not blowing everyone out the water like he maybe did early on in the season, but we have to remember the circumstances. He's a very young player, very raw. He's playing for a team that, for the last few years, hasn't played to his strengths at all, and still doesn't really play to his strengths. And he's being asked to do a role and do things that he isn't quite good at yet. Or maybe he will never be good at. Like his first touch is a bit off. He's not the best at keeping hold of the ball. But that's not what we signed him for. And he's still in his first season. He's got a lot of learning to do. Now, if you recall to the last time we played Bournemouth, think most people will remember that as the Jeremy Doku game. We got, 4 assists? Because Bournemouth play a more open, expansive game of football. There's more space in behind where he can isolate a full-back, run at his man, take him on. Against Brentford, he was always going to struggle. They played a back 10. Same thing with Chelsea. When Chelsea made that defensive substitution, they were playing with a back 10. There's not really much you can do against things like that because his bread and butter is pace in behind, take his man on, isolate the fullback. He hasn't been able to do that. Teams are doubling up on him. And he's now discovering the harsh reality that is being a Man City winger, which is you're just not going to get a 1v1 situation with a fullback. You're just not, and he needs to figure out a way around that. Now, will he get a 1v1 opportunity against a fullback against Bournemouth? He's more likely to. Simply because, again, like I said, they play a more open game of football. So I think it could be a good opportunity for him to get some confidence, for him to play well. Although I wouldn't be annoyed if he started Oscar Bob. What I would be annoyed about is if he starts Foden over that side, because I just don't want to see that. It's just less said about Foden's moving positions, the better. But that's my predicted starting 11. I'm not mad at it, but I'm not over the moon. In terms of my score prediction, I'm going to go for a 3-1 City. I don't see a clean sheet, 2 on the bounce. Very unlikely given us this season, although I hope I'm wrong. I've said this a few times on previous previews, that obviously the number one thing is the 3 points, which we've been getting. We got it against Brentford. We didn't play well. Got it against Everton. We didn't play well. We got 3 points in both of those games. That's the most important thing, is win when you're not playing well will set you up for a title challenge. And that's currently what we're doing. We're not playing well, but we're winning. And if we can continue that trend, then happy days. But, of course, second priority for me after getting 3 points would be a performance, a complete performance. We're still yet, in my eyes, in this sort of second half of the season running, we haven't had a complete performance, or what I would describe as a complete performance. A clean sheet, take our chances, just play overall, just play well, play a good game, everyone to a man plays well. We haven't had that. And it's due. It really is due, because after Luton, boy, that schedule is something, and we need to up the level if we're seriously going to compete on all fronts, because that run, Derby, Anfield, Arsenal at home, Villa at home, Brighton away, that run, scary, considering the way we're playing. So we need an upturning performance. Bournemouth, no easy game, but they kind of play into our hands, really, with the style of football. So I'm going to go for a 3-1. You let me know your score predictions down in the comment section below. As always, if you do me a massive favour on your way out of this video, and please leave a like, it massively helps the channel out, and subscribe if you are new. We have just reached 7k, like I said at the start of the video, so thank you very much. But we keep pushing, we keep climbing. And of course, turn your notification bells on, because we will be live during the weekend. I believe there's a Carabao Cup final on as well, so who knows what we're going to talk about there. And of course, top line in the description, there is a new membership link if you want to help support the channel further. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you hopefully on Saturday night, post-match, for a podcast-style live stream.